I am truly baffled by how good Frieren has been over now 11 episodes, but I do have a very personal issue with episode 11, and it's not because it did anything wrong, it's more of a selfishness, that desire, because immediately I was feeling Kraft as a character. I was like, listen, I really like the party of three, but we bring him in? I mean, it just kind of feels like the OG party in a new but different but still similar direction. But yeah, I mean, I guess I can take what I got. The content we had was great, and they spent, 6 months together in that winter storm? I'm sure they'll see each other again someday, whether or not characters who only live maybe 80 or 100 years, potentially may not meet up with them, but maybe in a few hundred years we get to see them again. It just felt like it would have been such a good addition. I feel like there's an element of just, maybe it's better to not have him a part of the party, because maybe having another elf, it would constantly just maybe let her not understand that, okay, time is precious because they live for so long, but I don't know, he just felt like a genuinely good dude with some pretty solid comedy that I would have really liked to see tag along, even if only for part of the journey, but maybe by the time we reach Heaven's Gates, that's where we'll be able to meet up with him. But this was a really good episode. And coming off of last episode, which is like one of the best episodes you're going to watch this year, I knew it wasn't going to live up to that. But somehow, such a simple episode still felt like a 10 out of 10 episode that I just get sucked into this world, this environment, the culture, the history, the characters. It's a chef's kiss, man. I absolutely love it. But full live reaction episode 11 over on my Patreon. If you would like to see that, head on over there because they're supporting. This was a good episode. This really, really was. I think both sections of the episode were equally enjoyable. I really liked what they did with this whole town and the idea of a man just so lost in grief, and the fact that he felt so indebted to Frieren to not only, like, for her to treat these corpses with respect, something, yes, of course, she didn't used to do back in the day, but of course with Himmel and everyone, they taught her to be a little more considerate, and the idea that, just how easily it could be for a situation like this to have him grow into just someone who swings his sword, gets drunk, and hates life because of what happened to his family. Instead, he feels this great sense of relief and respect for someone who went out of her way to not only carefully dispose of the trash, but most importantly, was very considerate about just the value of something that literally are ants to her, right? She's gonna live thousands of years, a small speck in the sand of that of a human life she doesn't need to be considerate of, so the fact that she was, it really moves him. And there is some really good comedy with that section. I was not expecting the executioner joke. I thought it was an executioner, so in a lot of situations, as we see with the flashback, not being polite to your lords can almost get you executed. And I mean, if we consider him talking some mad shit when he was trying to save them, I mean, it's understandable Stark was like, oh my god, why is this lumberjack here with an axe? And I love how it's not even just the one misunderstanding. We see it because they have like this silent montage, like the song's playing, of course, the OST. But we see this one point where he's just like sees him in the distance and he's like, bruh, what the hell is going on? Just really good stuff. And they immediately did what I wanted to see. I noticed that all of them were in more winter-esque clothes, and I was like, please tell me we're getting a winter scene. I was expecting next episode. I thought it would take a little bit, the snow would start falling, but no, we get thrown into a blizzard, and it's just fantastic because we end up meeting one of my new favorite characters who, even if this was all we saw of him for the rest of the season, I really think what they did with his character was fantastic. I love how someone like Fern's like, this is a pervert's home, we can't go in there. I could understand if he was completely naked. Even then, he would have an excuse because probably wet clothes, he's just trying to keep his body heat up, but he was wearing pants. It was a complete misunderstanding, but I guess I shouldn't really expect too much different from her, given the fact that whether it's, you smell nice, okay, we're gonna leave our boy Stark in the snow, or it's just like, I get it. They're going to have like that kind of back and forth, flirtatious, slightly violent tendencies. But as we see with her slipping off the roof when they're clearing the snow, they're going to be there for each other. I think Stark probably had the funniest moments that we've seen in the show overall. Like not only just in this episode, which is self-explanatory. I think his comedy is just great. Him waking up after dreaming of his like parfait or whatever. The fact that he I think it takes him 4 looks before he clues in because his pillow is this man's beefy arm. And he's like, and then like on the 4th one, he finally responds and he goes from freaking out of why he's sleeping with a naked man to being like, damn, those abs are actually pretty nice. And it's just, I like it. It's just such a simple episode. But I think the beauty of this show is that the entire point is the journey, the retracing of your steps, and really starting to learn what it is to value life. There's going to be certain arcs that will happen, like the one we just finished, where we are going to get thrown into demon hell. We're going to have these personal stories that will intertwine with our own personal beliefs and desires. But at other points, we might just be walking through the snow, stumbling upon a little hut that apparently she knew was there and was being kept and maintained. And then we end up meeting someone that we may never see again, or maybe will see again and join up again for more adventures. But it doesn't matter, because this journey, while it will be familiar to her, we will retrace these big moments, but at the same time, it's not about replacing those memories. It's more about retracing those steps so you can really, truly appreciate what you had before, what you didn't really consider to be all that important, because it's just a blip in the many years you're going to live. And it's really cool because I like the idea of characters like Fern or Stark or, you know, any of the characters we're going to meet. They may have similarities to that of her old party or be vastly different, but at the same time, it allows for her to reconnect to those old memories while not making the same mistakes she did the first time, which is truly appreciating her companions, valuing them as people, and in doing so have great characterization. This is a phenomenal show. It's literally 10 out of 10. I refuse to budge on that. I think it is going to be my anime of the year. That's not discrediting some great shows like Vinland Saga or anything like that. You know how much I love those if you've been following the channel. This just clicks with me. It really does. Maybe it's too soon to say it's already in a top 10 anime for me, but I really vibe with this one, man. I really, really do, and I think it's only going to get better. And I think the cool thing about this is, like, even though there's certain aspects that I want to see in this world, like a snow-covered landscape, I mean, just, it can throw me anywhere. Like, whether it's looking at the corpses, like the suits of armor, just the way they detail it, it just is like, okay, I haven't really seen anime detail a scene like that quite in that art direction. Or just looking at the general landscapes, the flowers blooming, and just, it feels so good to be in this world. Like, it's one of those shows that I legitimately think could easily run 100 episodes and not get boring in the slightest. The music continues to blow me away. I mean, just the way these simple scenes, like, just imagining just reading these pages, I'm sure they're good, but like with the music and the direction they're taking, it really enhances, and I'm not surprised I'm seeing so many manga readers say, love the manga, but the anime absolutely surpassed that. Like, I just can't believe how in they went with that scene, like, especially with like the execution scene last week, how they made it so much more violent and brutal, but really got across just the difference in power. I mean, I love the show. I will gush about it till the ends of days, and I don't care if people feel differently, because this is my channel, damn it, and I'm gonna hype up that Frieren until the cows come home, and even then I'll probably not stop. But let me know what you thought, because this was a very different episode than the past couple, but I think whether it goes action heavy or it goes slice of life adventuring, and even if that slice of life doesn't have anything technically explosive, I still feel like I always am learning something about the lore, the history, or the characters in question. So thoughts down below yourself. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new around here, of course ring that bell so you can get notified when I upload more videos to the channel. Like I mentioned, we got that full live reaction over on my Patreon. Hey, while you're there, you also get a video shout out. So today we have Cryptic, Blood iOS, Samantha, That Random Man Anime Man, Paul Tar, and Zen Virus. So I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care and have a good one.